Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Jason Sari. I'm a financial advisor with the Premier Client Group. On the side, I run this YouTube page and a Facebook group called Financial Education for Retirement just to help foster financial education in anybody I can reach. But let's get into the video today on how much should you have in your emergency fund. Just as a quick disclosure, all of the information in this video should be solely used for educational purposes and should not be taken as advice without first contacting a tax, legal, or investment representative. But let's get into the video. So, before you are able to actually fund an emergency fund, you have to know what kind of funds qualify for emergency fund status. Now, that's anything with liquidity. But what exactly does liquidity mean? Liquid assets are basically qualified as anything that you can pay with in a pinch. If you need to access the money, you can access it within a day or less than a day. Assets that qualify for emergency funds are cash, checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs that have maturities of less than 6 months, and money markets, but not money market mutual funds. These are usually accounts that you can get money from in less than a day if need be. And this is very important. If you had money that was not liquid in a day, or an investment, money that's going up and down, and you were to take from that investment when the investment is down, you'd be substantially hurting yourself financially and would be crippling yourself in the long run. So now that you know what qualifies for emergency fund funds, you can finally get into how much should you have in your emergency fund. And it's a pretty simple answer. It's pretty cut and dry. It's way less confusing than you might think. If you have one source of income, you should have 6 months of fixed and variable expenses saved up. And if you have 2 sources of income, you only need 3 months of fixed and variable expenses saved up to be considered safe in emergency fund status. Now, it's never a bad idea to even have 6 months, even if you do have 2 sources of income, especially if one of those sources of income is substantially lower than the first. If your wife makes 20 grand and you make 220, you should probably still have 6 months of fixed and variable expenses saved up. But if you have around equal salaries, then the 3 months might be safe for you. But the emergency fund is really a big deal for if you were to get laid off or if you were to try to switch and find a new job and you didn't have income for a certain amount of months. That's when you start drawing from your emergency fund, when you absolutely 100% need it. It's not something that you would take money from to buy a car or to buy a house, or it's something that you need in the case of an emergency and should be used for it only in that instant. The best way to think of this money is like if you were to put it into a black hole, it's gone. You are not touching this money whatsoever. Just keep putting money in and don't take money out. That's a great way to go about it. You can go over 6 months, just be more safe. But some people will not draw from their emergency fund all the way until retirement because there is absolutely no reason to draw from this type of account unless you have no income. If you still have income, if you are still in your working life, you should not touch your emergency fund. Guys, please set up an emergency fund as soon as possible. Do not do anything of substantial financial means without first setting up an emergency fund. This is how you avoid debt. Don't buy a house. Don't buy a car. Don't go on a crazy vacation. Set up an emergency fund before you do anything of substantial financial means. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I know it wasn't super long, but hopefully you got something out of it. Please, please, please set up an emergency fund before you do anything of crazy financial substance. But check out some of the other videos on the page, like and subscribe, and definitely check out the Facebook group Financial Education for Retirement. But see you guys later. Hope you have a good rest of your day.